Hello, I'm going to talk briefly about how to set up your college planning portfolio site using a template that I'm providing to you. I'm going to show you a little bit about the navigation of the site, adding a page, editing a page, working with the tabs in the site navigation, and on subsequent videos I will show you more detailed information further drill down about the site. So if you open up a Google page like I have open currently on my screen and go to the 9 square menu, if you click on sites, you may have to click on more if the site doesn't appear. If you click on sites, it will go to the site menu. These are on my sites. And if you created your template already, yours will appear here. You'll want to name it with this convention. I called mine College Planning Portfolio Mr. Dimich Test. You will call yours College Planning Portfolio first, last name. If you haven't done this yet, if you go to Create, showing you really quickly, and you go to Browse Gallery for more, and you'll see a set of templates here. The first two are for college writing. We don't deal with those right now until third trimester or second trimester. And then the third one down is the one we want, College Planning Portfolio. So you click on that and you click on Select, and you'll name your site College Planning Portfolio first, last. Okay? And then you click on Create, and it does its magic in creating the site. However, I'm going to click Cancel here. You would click Create. You would click Create. I'm going to click Cancel because I don't need to create the site right now. This is where the site will appear in your site menu when you're done with it, you've created the template. But I've already got one created, so I'm going to show mine here. Okay. So here is the template I've created for you to be able to work with the site. Couple of notes. One, these tabs are by no means all of the tabs that you will have or all of the subpages that you will have for your site. Refer to Classroom for examples of quality sites. You will need to have a table of contents. You will need to have various tabs or pages on your site. These are some that I did as a template to get you started. You can change these. You will definitely need to add to these. But to show you the navigation, these are all pages on the site. I've made them fairly simple web pages that can be edited. So let's just use Preparing for College for example. If I go up to Edit Page and click on the pencil, so I'll go back there because I was probably going too fast. If I go up to Edit Page, there's some navigation tools up here. One is Edit Page, one will be Create Page, and the other is the gear for basically for controlling a lot of the site navigation, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But let's just use Edit Page first of all. So if I glow, it'll say loading my editor. So you'll see this layout is a simple one column layout with 3 different text boxes. You can have more or less text boxes. Once you've clicked save, you really can't see those text boxes as much anyway. So once I've done that, I click on, if I look up here under my site, then I can add, insert, format, insert rows below, insert rows above. If I want to insert different rows here, I can click on layout and I can change the layout. If I want to make it a 2-column layout, if I want to make it a 1-column layout, I can change the layout however I want to. You'll see here, this is your standard bullets, normal, point font, and so on and so forth. I'm going to show you in this demonstration a couple of ways I'm actually going to show that in another video, a couple ways to insert documents. So I'm going to show that in a different video. Right now, I just want to show you briefly how you insert different items. I'm going to actually show that on a different video because there's quite a bit to show there. But right now I just want to go through the site navigation and the site layout and overview, and I'll get more into detail in subsequent videos. So there's that. One of the features of Google, if you wanted to change the name of the site, you'd click up here, or the name of the page, and click up, the name of the page, and click up here, and you can change the name of the page. Let's say we finished everything, we click on Save. One of the differences between Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, that you don't have to save, and it automatically saves. With sites, you do have to save. You do have to click Save. So now I've saved, now I'm back onto my generic page. So if I want to create a page, I click up here and add create page. Let's name the page that I want to create. Let's say I want to create a page that's called financial aid information. It's the one I really haven't created. It's going to ask you whether you want to put the page under preparing for college, which would make it a sub page of preparing for college, or put the page at the top level. Let's say I want to put the page at the top level as a main tab on the site. So then at that point I click on I can make an announcement, a file cabinet. A file cabinet would be like a bunch of documents that I could upload, but let's stick to creating a web page. So let's create that. Okay. Now I've created a page that's called Financial Aid Information. You can see from the title up there. It's only a one column layout, so let's say a simple layout, but let's say I want multiple text boxes here. I can create multiple columns or however I want it to look. You'll notice though it's not up here in the tabs. Okay, in the tabs, but we haven't been able to put it there yet. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. So let's click on Save. Okay, now the page is saved. It says your changes have been saved. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the navigation for the tabs and different ways that you can lay out your a particular site. So if I go to the gear head, and I click on Edit Site Layout, you'll see all of these come up. You can add a custom footer if you'd like, a custom footer. If you want to put something at the bottom, you can make a sidebar instead of the tabs, where your navigation menu appears on the side as opposed to along the top. The reason for this particular site that I chose the tab features because it most looks like a binder. So that's the reason I chose it. You don't have to do that. There's nothing that says you can't use a sidebar if you wouldn't like. So by clicking on these buttons up here, enable, disable, will enable and disable these particular features. So let's go back and disable the sidebar. Let's focus on the horizontal navigation over here. So if I click on the horizontal navigation, you'll notice that it's got a menu, a configure navigation menu. It will let me do boxes if I want to do boxes, so then it changes this to boxes as opposed to tabs. It just makes it look a little different. But I happen to like tabs. If I want to go with links, it will change it to make it look like links as opposed to tabs. But I happen to like the tabs. You can change it to what you want. Notice up here it lets you change the order of how it appears. If I want to add a site, or a page, excuse me, to the navigation, I can click down here and click on Add Page. That financial aid information page was right here, if you'll notice, so that we just added, so I can click on that, click on OK. Now, I don't necessarily want it here. Let's say I want it right before the career articles, so I can move it up there. And click on OK, and it works its magic, and there's the financial aid information page on the tab. Okay, so this is changing the site navigation. The site width, I would leave it as the theme default for now. You can make it custom for phones, for smartphones, but let's just leave it as the theme default for now. So let's say I've added what I want to add there. Let's click on close. Okay, so now I've added another tab to my navigation. One more feature that I'm going to show on this video is everybody's template looks pretty generic. I made it looking a navy with a white background. But to make your site look a little bit more unique, you can go to, and there's different ways that there's different functions for the Manage Site tool under the Gearhead. There's different functions for the Manage Site tool under the Gearhead. But one of the functions is themes, colors, and fonts. We may come back to this page, this Manage Site page, in subsequent videos, but right now I just want to focus your attention on themes, colors, and fonts. You can change the theme in general up here to something that you might want that looks a little different. So let's say I can change it to, I don't know, garden. And then I can change the background theme color of the entire page if I want to by clicking over here. So let's say I change it. I can change the image, the wrapper image, although I wouldn't advise doing that. I can change the site header color. So if I wanted to change the site header color just to a different fill color, I'd click on that. And let's say I want to make it a lighter, let's try this color. I can make that a different color than the top. I can also change the font theme, color theme of just the title, which means I can change that from a red to, let's say, a blue, and I can make it a bigger font at 16 point. I can make it 24 point. I can make it 18 point. I can change it to how I want to change it. And the same thing with the entire page. I can change the text of the entire page, but look out, when you change the text of the entire page, it will change the size of all the fonts. The content area, you can change the content area gadgets, and the title, background of the content area, and the sidebar gadgets, and the horizontal navigation, which are these. You can change the color of the color scheme of those. So let's just change it to something like that. That's really hard to see, so we're going to go back and maybe change it to something like that, back to where it was. The hover color, maybe we'll change it to something else and see what happens there. So when you hover over it, it makes it a different color. The text, let's change the text color of these to, let's say, like a reddish color. Maybe increase the font to 12, although that looks a little bit big, so we'll lower it to 10. Maybe change the hover color to like a gray. And then the font, we can make that, we can change that into something else as well. Let's say we want to change that to an Arial font. So when I find the Arial font, it may not give me an Arial font color, but you get the idea. So let's just look. Able looks kind of nice. Okay, let's say I change it to that. Let's say I change it to Able 10 point. You can change different ideas. The content area, you can change content area gadgets. You can change as well in terms of the theme. So you can make a little manipulation to make your site look a little bit different from other people's. So then if you click Save, changes have been saved. We can go back to the page by clicking on this arrow, and now we have a slightly different look and feel to our site here, that we can it makes our site look. Let's see how the hover color is just a little bit different. Once you're on that tab, the color looks a little bit different. So it makes it look a little bit unique in that sense. So I've shown you some basic features of navigation and how to set up the site. And on subsequent videos, I'll show you how to insert documents and to start actually organizing the site.